What's going on, guys? This is Chandler Smith, and buying a duplex is one of the best decisions that you can ever make. However, they can be very hard to find. And so in this video, I'm gonna show you step by step everything you need to do to be able to find and buy the perfect duplex for you. So with that being said, let's jump into it. All right, guys, for those of you that don't know me, my name's Chandler Smith, and I've been investing in real estate for the last 7 years. I own 99 units of rental real estate, and 8 of those units are because I've purchased 4 duplexes throughout that process. And so in this video, I wanna show you everything that you need to do so that you're able to find the perfect duplex for you. Now guys, just remember to smash that like button. It really helps the algorithm and it would mean a lot to me. I wanted to remind you that you have 1 week left to purchase my CDS real estate investing course at a huge discount. A week from now, that price is going to jump up. And so if you're interested in jumping on that course, the link for that is down in the description. And I promise you, this course is going to blow your mind. I've made sure to put everything that you need in there to scale from no properties to owning over 100 doors of rental real estate. Now, with that being said, keep in mind, I'm still going to be blasting you with incredible content on my channel. And so let's jump into everything you need to do to be able to purchase the perfect duplex. First off, you've got to make sure that you've gone in and gotten pre-approved for a loan and that you know what kind of loan you're going to need. Because if you're going to live in this property, it's going to be different than if you're just buying a duplex to rent both units. And so sit down and say, all right, am I going to live in it or am I not going to live in it? How much am I going to put down? And once you know the answers to those questions, you're going to go in and sit down with your loan officer and say, all right, here is my plan. I'm going to purchase a duplex. I'd like to get it for 5% down or 3.5% down or 25% down. And all of that's going to depend on whether you're going to live in it or not. Now, I always suggest living in the property if you can, because you're gonna be able to get into it for a much lower down payment. This in turn is going to help you to get into a lot more real estate a lot more quickly. However, if you're already in the place you like living or that's not an option for you, that is okay. You just need to talk to your loan officer and make sure that you know exactly how much you need as a down payment, and you need to know exactly what you're pre-approved for so that you're not shopping $1 million properties when you're only approved for a $200,000 property. That's gonna help you narrow in and know exactly what kind of duplex you're going to be looking for. Now at this point, that's gonna get you a pre-approval letter from your lender. This is going to play a huge role in you getting your offer accepted, because then immediately you can send in your pre-approval letter and say, look, I'm already approved to buy this, I can close quickly, and I'm gonna be ready to go. And so make sure you go in, you get pre-approved, you know how much you're pre-approved for, and you know it's the right loan so that when the right deal does come, you can jump all over it. Now, if you don't know this already, duplexes are extremely hard to find. And the reason for that is everyone is competing for them, and there's usually a pretty low barrier to entry. And so you want to do a couple things that are going to give you a real leg up on your competition. One of the biggest things you can do is understand your market and be able to recognize if something is renting lower than it should be renting. Because if you can buy it when no one else is buying it, but then raise rents, you're in a great place. You also, on a deeper level, want to understand what you could do to the property to force it being worth more so that you can raise rents. So little renovations, little fixes like carpet, paint, things like that. Figure out what you can do in your area to increase the value so you can raise rents, and that will also help you pick up deals that maybe someone else would pass on. So as you find ways to add value and increase rents, you're gonna be able to create deals that other people are passing on. The next thing that's going to help you a ton to find deals that other people aren't finding is all of the different funnels that you create. And in my course, I talk about tons of different funnels and ways that you can create deal flow. However, right here, I'm gonna mention quite a few of them that you can do. First off, you can look on the MLS, all right? You're constantly looking on the MLS, on Zillow, on Craigslist, on every platform that you can find. And on a lot of those apps or websites, you can make it so that it reminds you if a duplex hits the market. The next thing you can do is build a relationship with multiple realtors and wholesalers. All right, show them your numbers, show them exactly what you're looking for, and make sure you stay on the front of their mind. Constantly be following up and saying, hey, have you found that duplex for me yet? And make sure you've got multiple people looking and that they know you're a serious investor that will buy the property if they bring it to you. You also want to do everything you can to connect with as many people as you can. Go to real estate investor meetups, post on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Let the world know that you're an investor and you're looking for a duplex. Because if everyone knows and you're constantly talking about it with friends and family, then when someone comes and says, hey, I've got this duplex, I need a 1031 exchange or I need to sell, they're going to think of you. They're going to say, hey, I've got a friend or a buddy or a sibling that is looking for a duplex right now. Let me put you in contact with them. Because when you can find something that is off market, then you don't have to deal with the competition. Then you can get them down a lot lower on the price and you can put yourself in a much better situation and a much higher likelihood of finding a deal that meets your criteria. Now, there are tons of other ways to find deals, but you just need to pour yourself into talking about real estate investing and specifically talking and following up with everyone you can about you trying to find that duplex. Now, once you've done everything you can to create as many funnels as you can, you also need to remember when you're talking to people and then when you're going through the process, we have talked a lot about finding a property that meets your criteria. And so let's dive into the numbers side of things so you know exactly what you're looking for. And one of the best ways to do this is to hop onto your app store, whether you're Android or iOS, and download my brand new app. It's CDS Rental Calculator, and I've given it away completely free. It takes 2 seconds to download. It doesn't take any of your private information, but it is a great way to pull out your phone and be able to run quick numbers on a rental property, especially on this dream duplex. So once you've downloaded that app, you're just gonna pull it out and I'm gonna show you how you're gonna run the numbers. When I bought my first duplex, my criteria was a 20% cash on cash return. Now, since then, I've lowered my criteria and I'm more than happy purchasing a 15% cash on cash return. The reason I've lowered it is one, I'm happy with that return, but I also wanted to make sure that my numbers, my expenses, all of that were right. So I'm gonna show you how I run those numbers, but it might vary depending on your market. And so make sure again that you've done that research to understand your market and what your expenses are, what your vacancy is going to be, all of that. But this will show you exactly how to run the numbers and see what you're looking for on that cash on cash return so you can get comfortable purchasing a property and showing other people, hey, download this app. These are the numbers I'm looking for. If it meets this criteria, I want to buy it. And I found that to be super useful. And that's why I made this. That's why I gave it away for free, is I want everyone to have access so that people can bring me deals and so that you can have a lot of luck finding the deals on your own. So grab the app, open it up, and I'm gonna run the numbers like this is a turnkey property. Just ready to go, you got super lucky with the numbers, and I'm actually going to show you the numbers on my very first duplex. It was actually this guy. So first we're gonna plug in the purchase price. I was able to get them down to just $95,000 on this duplex. So you're gonna plug in $95,000. Now, for running the numbers, if you're planning on living in the property and putting down a lower down payment, you still want to run the numbers at a 25% down payment and as if it already has 2 people in it that are paying, because obviously you're going to get your rent for free. You still want to plug in a 25% down payment when you run the numbers to meet your criteria. And the reason for that is it's going to dramatically change the numbers by putting a lower down payment. And this is the criteria I use to make sure it's a good investment. The lower down payment you put down, usually the higher your return's going to get. And so you don't want to buy something at only a 15% cash on cash return if you've only got 3.5% down. The other thing you want to do is you want to run the numbers as if 2 people are living in it and renting both sides. That way you know the numbers are correct rather than saying, oh, what are the numbers if I'm living in one side and someone else is living in the other? Now, you still want to look into that and make sure it works for what you're wanting to buy, but this helps you make sure that when you move out, this is going to still be a great investment. Now, buying a duplex is going to be an awesome investment even if the numbers don't work. So you can change your criteria. And the reason for that is you can literally have a place that you're living in and that you're owning and someone else is paying a portion or all of your mortgage. Now, my goal is to get them to pay all of the mortgage and to maybe even still have a little cash flow, even though you're living in the other side. However, you want it in a place where when you move out, 100%, you're getting at least a 15% cash on cash return. So we're gonna run the numbers as if you put 25% down. So plug in 25%. Now remember, you can plug in whatever you want. You can plug in a lower down payment. You can bounce back and forth plugging in the numbers and seeing what it does to your return. But for meeting your criteria, this is how you want to do it. Now on closing costs, I'm going to pretend as if you're on a budget. So you're going to do everything you can to try and get the closing costs for free. So we're going to run them just at 0. Now you're gonna put in 30 years to pay off and an interest rate of 3.5%. Now that should be very realistic. However, if it changes, just plug in where you're at to run the numbers. With this property, I got super lucky because rents were at $1,200. So we're gonna plug in $1,200 in rents, nothing on utilities, and a vacancy of 6%. Now I'm very comfortable with this vacancy. If you need more, plug in more depending on your market. Then for maintenance, you're gonna put 12%. For management, you're gonna put 7% or whatever you're at. For insurance, you're gonna plug in $320. For taxes, you're gonna plug in $1,300, and then you're gonna press run numbers. You can see on this property, I'm coming in at a 23.18% return. This was the first duplex I purchased and I got a killer deal on it. It met my criteria, and so I jumped all over it. I personally think if you were 15% or above, as long as your numbers are right, you are set. If you're worried about your numbers and you still want to shoot for a 20% cash on cash return, that is still fine. It's going to be harder to find those deals, but it is a super safe investment for you to jump into if it's your first investment. However, if you know your expenses, you know where things are at, I think a 15% cash on cash return is awesome, and you should jump all over that as well. For those of you that don't know what a cash on cash return is, this percentage is showing you what percent return you're getting on the money you have into the property. So it's taking your down payment and any closing costs or any fixes to make it rent ready, and it's taking whatever return you're getting in rents per year on that money. So you can see on this, we had 25% down on the property. And so on that 25% down, we're getting a 23.18% return, which ends up being $5,504 every single year that you're making on your return. You can see there's a ton of other cool stuff on here. It shows you your cap rate, your debt service, your cash flow, your principal pay down, and it has an amortization schedule where you can see how much is going out in your mortgage for principal and for interest every single month. So you can play around with this app. It is super useful, but the point in this video I wanted to get to is once you know your criteria is met, it is time to purchase the property. Once you know what criteria you're looking for, you can share that with other people so they can help bring you properties. But for me, if I find a property that I know is gonna meet this criteria, I'm going to get it under contract as quickly as I can. If I think I can add value, I'm gonna get it under contract. Or if I think they will budge on the price because I'm gonna find things in the inspection I maybe already know about, or I'm assuming, or I think I can whittle them down after doing an inspection, I'm gonna put in an offer. Because remember, all of your offers you want to do dependent upon an inspection. That way in your due diligence, you can go through, you can make sure your rents are going to work, you can make sure your numbers are going to work, and if they don't, or if there's something wrong with the property, after you've gotten a professional inspector to come look through it, which you definitely should do on every property, then you can go back to them and say, I need this, this, and this fixed, or you can give me this amount in closing. Now, the reason I love getting an amount in closing is a lot of times some of the things that do need to be fixed don't need to be fixed until down the road. And so you can really manipulate the numbers to get into an incredible deal and then break up those fixes to come out of your expenses and know that you are in a great deal. So make sure you use that inspection and that due diligence period to your advantage. But once you can get the numbers where they need to be, once it's a clean property, once you've done your inspection, congratulations, you can go through the closing process and get yourself your brand new duplex. And I promise you, it is going to be an incredible cash cow. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to hit that like button and remember that my course is only on sale for another week. You can hit the link in the description. I promise you, this course was created to help you go from no properties to over 100 doors of rental real estate and 6 figures plus in passive income from your cash flow. I put a ton of time into the course and I'm really excited for you to have it and have it at a discount. Now, if you're watching this video later, it's going to be worth whatever price it is at. It is lights out, right? Sorry, the light went. But guys, go check it out. And remember, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell, because my goal is to help you to build a huge passive income. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great day.